Hello and welcome back to another Union Arena Deck Tech. Today I'm joined once again by Popito, and we're talking about one of the more explosive rush decks in the format, Green Asta from Black Clover. This deck is all about fast pressure, efficient board control, and massive value from 3-cost synergies. If you're looking to hit hard and close out games quickly, this deck delivers. So, let's start with the basics. How would you describe Green Asta's playstyle?
Well, I think Green Asta is similar to a deck that you actually play. I think it's similar to like Blue Bomber from Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Because it's consistently like with the raid cards that we'll talk about in a little bit. It consistently flips the cards to reveal like certain things. Like for Asta, it's reveal the top card if it's a 3, or is also reveal top card if it's a 3. So we're just, as you mentioned, we're always trying to find those 3-cost cards. So that's what made me think of this deck. I personally don't like the Hunter, so
okay.
This was like,
all right. Well, nothing for taste.
I did like the idea, but I just did not want to play a Hunter deck.
Okay, so what kind of decks does Green Asta do best into, and when do you feel like you're in control of a matchup? When you sit down, you're against a control deck or an aggro deck or anything like that?
I think this does well against aggro decks, just because there's a couple cards that come in set to active, which is a pretty good one, like the 3-drop. Duelist, the searcher card is also pretty good. There's a lot of lower end cards on top of the 3, so we got 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2s, more 2s that acts as a 3. I think it does well against aggro decks.
Okay, so what makes it unique to the other decks in this format?
It's Asta and the two greatest. That's what makes it unique. I do like how this deck has that like a gambling type of feel to it. Is because if you don't hit, it sucks. But if you do hit a 3, it works so well, especially with the combinations that can happen.
Okay, so let's go through the deck by costs. What do the 0 costs do for this strategy? Like, what is your point of playing the 3 that you've chosen here today?
I run 11 on 0-cost deck. First up is Asta. Self-explanatory, just the general raid target card. It's 15 BP, nothing crazy. Add card to hand. Is definitely one of the better 0 costs because it's a 2k BP one, and it does have an active trigger, so I gotta run 4 of those. Again, it's a raid target, so something nice to jump on for a raid. Then we also have Charmy, who is a small 500, but she does have the 3k active trigger, and her when played is when played, choose up to 1 character on your field to give it 1,000, which for this deck definitely helps out because there is a lot of lower end cards. So 2Ks, 25s, 3Ks, 3Ks, 3Ks. Even the Raid Asta is a 35. So in case you do have to play him raw, she'll give him the bump to make him 2,500.
Okay, now moving on up.
Also helps with the Yami that we have in here because his AP2 gets reduced to AP1 if something has a higher than its base. So that's also good too.
Oh, okay. So moving right along to the 1-cost cards in this deck. I see that you're playing a split of 2 of them instead of a full consistent 4 of 1. Can you explain your reasoning and why these 2 cards in particular?
So I just split them both up just to even out the raid targets for Asta and And we'll start with the one. The one is a step, so that's always good to have in the deck. It also has a when played. As long as Asta's on the field, you can look at the top 2 cards and place them back in any particular order, or you can put it on the bottom. So if you know, for example, in the later game, you have a 3-drop coming up, or you don't have a 3-drop coming up, and you need it for the Asta and Una raids, you can just put it into the bottom and hope next 2 cards will be there. And then our other 1-drop is the 2500 Asta. It definitely helps out with in case I need a push up, because by turn 2 or 3, the chances of your opponent having something higher than a 25 isn't there yet. So if I was to play more of an aggression style, I can play a 0 and then play the 1 to the front, and then it's at 25. So they'll have to put up a bigger number as well. So that's why I kept those pretty low. Another reason why I did keep these pretty low as well, as you know, I like to have my triggers in the deck. So unfortunately, these don't have any triggers.
Right.
I was really trying to minimize how many triggers I have in here.
Right. And yeah, I mean,
How many?
unfortunately, yeah, you don't have many options when it comes to no triggers, but I think the deck does make up for it in its main deck style of gameplay. So let's move right along to your 2s. You got 3 different ones here.
So first up we have is the Yagami. It's 2500. This is the one that gains an extra energy if it's set to active. So that's going to be our general part of the double energy that we have. No trigger, so unfortunately, it is what it is. But definitely a great card in case we do need to push up for 2500. We do also have another step. This one's at 3K, and it does have a draw trigger.
Very
so that's
good.
great as well. Yep. So again, another raid target for the Juno. Finally, we have the Asta. This one's from the starter deck. The good thing about this card is that if it's in the deck and it's one of the cards that you are revealing, even though it is a 2, you can count it as a 3. So definitely useful in this deck. No trigger, but it is a nullify impact, and it does gains 500 if is on the field. So that right there also helps with the Yami that's coming up at the end.
Okay, so we've heard a lot about this 3-cost synergy so far, but we haven't really gone over any of the cards that have a huge payoff for it yet. How about we jump right along to those cards, the ones that really make this deck come together and shine?
So we have 3 sets of the 3-cost one. The first one is the It's another raid target. It can come in active, which is a great thing actually. If Asta is on the field, it gains 500, so it will be at 3,500 because most of the time we'll always have some sort of Asta on the field, whether it's the 0 cost, the 1 cost, the 2-drop, or the raid. So it will get that extra boost. And if you pair it with Charmy, or if you pair it with the rated Asta, which I'll talk about in a little bit, this will be a great 4K attacker. Another feature that is great on this card is the when played one. So when played, you can return something that's on the field and set this one to active. So in case you do have a Charmy in the back, you can just grab it, set this one to active, replay it, give something else 1,000 if you need be, like let's say the Stepper or the Asta.
Oh,
so definitely helpful.
Yeah, good synergy on that. And moving right up,
the greatest searcher card in my opinion.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So just a funny story. At first, when I was playing this deck, I thought this was like the regular searcher card. You search for the top and then you put everything on the bottom until someone said, "No, I'm playing it wrong." I was like, "What?" So I read it. Great card. You can put it right back on top. So this one is when played, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add up to one of them in your hand. You can place the remaining 2 or the 3 if you don't pick one back on the top instead of the bottom in any particular order. If you do add a card, you can add. So if you do add a card, you can place another card either into your sideline or back on top. But this is definitely helpful when we're trying to do the whole roulette thing with finding the 3s, because it can set up perfectly for the Uno raid and Asta raid in case in case they're getting ready to attack, and then we can do the whole flip card, reveal a 3, and things like that. So this one definitely helps out. Plus, it's just a great filter card in case the 3 energy card, that one is the 3rd card, so you can just put it on the top, and you're all good to go. So great card. Love this card. Definitely need it, and it's a color trigger, so even better.
And this is one of the few green decks that the color trigger looks like it'll actually help you. As a color trigger in green color player, the color trigger hurts sometimes more than helps. But moving right along, we've talked about there being this huge payoff for 3 cost cards. How about we go over the 2 raiders that have that synergy?
So we have the Asta raid, which is only a 3 cost requirement. So that one is pretty great and pretty easy to get out onto the field pretty early. During my turn, it does, if is on the field, it gains 500. So it is a base of 35. But again, because of the cards in this deck, 9 times out of 10, you will have a on the field. So this will always be 500 on my turn. Another great feature of this deck is that if this card attacks, then you take the life or there's impact or something. If there is a draw trigger in the opponent's field, you can't even activate that.
Yep, he just nullifies draw triggers altogether.
Exactly. So as you know, we love those draw triggers from life, because it helps filter out to find what we need. So just with Asta canceling that out, it just stops the opponent right there as well.
Yeah, it stops them from getting more gas.
Yep, exactly. And then it has another feature, which is the when attacking, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card has a 3 energy, this card gains impact. So we have the 2-drop Asta who acts as a 3 in the deck. We have the 3K we have the Julius. We have I Won't Give Up on You, the final, and then the sideline. So there's a lot of cards in here that can give this Asta impact.
You have 23 threes.
Yeah, so it's almost half.
Yeah, that's pretty good odds.
Very useful. Yep.
All right, and moving up, we're going to skip over Yami firstly because this oh wow, this card.
So here we have for it's just a standard 4-drop rated card. We have plenty of raid targets for this When played, if Asta is on the field, look at the top card of your deck and place it at the top or bottom. So again, this helps with that whole roulette type of gameplay. If this is down, then boom, it's not a 3, and that you're gonna need a 3 to combo attack with Asta, and you can just put it right on the bottom and then hope that next card that you flip up is that 3 that you need. So that's a great when played for this deck. The when attacking, similar to the Asta, reveal the top card of your deck and then place it on the top or bottom. If the revealed card is a green character or side card with 3 required energy and 1 AP cost, you may place 1 card from your hand to your sideline, and you can play it onto the field set as resting, or you can even raid it. So if it's an Asta, you can just raid it on top if you have a card that you can trash in your hand. So that's pretty great as well. So I definitely like that one. You don't have to play it that way. So how I've been playing it recently, if the game is working perfectly and I have, let's say, 1 raid in the front and then 3 Asta raids in the front as well, how I to play it now is swing with first. If it is a 3, keep it there. Don't even play it. Don't even raid it, because it comes in handy for the Astas that are about to attack next, because they gain the impact ability if there's that 3 on the top. So swing with and then you have Astas with all impact at 4K.
Oh,
actually, it will be more than that, because each Asta gives it plus 500. So you're at like a 5K, 5,500, depending on the situation. But
I just found out that stacks. Wow.
yeah. Mhm.
Oh, that is a huge boost to this deck. Okay, so moving right along, there's one other card in this deck that you may recognize from the Mereoleona deck, but I promise you is insane in this deck as well. Yami.
So in both that deck and this card is pretty insane, as you just mentioned. It's a 4-drop AP2. But if there's anything on the field that has a higher BP than its base BP, it's only a AP1. So again, if you have the Asta on the field, he gives everybody 500. So that's already there. Some of the cards like the 2-drop Asta, the 2-drop Asta, the 3-drop, those give 500 or 1,000 depending on who's on the field. If either or is on the field, then you charm me plus 1,000. So this one can easily get out at the AP1. But I think it's the most important thing about this card is its during my turn ability, which gives itself 1,000 plus damage 2. So 5K damage 2. This card is insane.
Yeah, that is.
It has a trigger, so it's great.
Oh yeah, that card is absolutely nutters with how strong it is. And then they threw a get trigger on it because, we needed to make sure it was in our hands. Now, looking at this deck, it is playing much lower to the ground than many of the 4-cost, ramp to 4, go off type of decks right now. Do you think that it supplies enough pressure and big swing turns to compete with the mono 4-cost rush style decks that are plaguing our meta right now?
I don't think it's the best deck, but I do think that it definitely competes, especially because the special trigger, it only costs 3. And then it does have a good effect on it. It's a base 2,000. If either you have Asta or on the field, it's base 4,000. But if you have both, it's base 5,000. So I think that being a low requirement is great. The battle the 4Ks and the 5Ks. Just like I said, with the whole, if you're lucky enough to have like multiple Asta raids on the field and raids, it just increases this one up to 5K, 4K, whatever you need it to be. Plus, Jajami is here to back everyone up, so I think it can hang with the best.
All right.
It probably won't hang as great 9 times out of 10, but I think it can hang.
Now, what type of matchups do you think that this deck would be favored in? You sit down at the table, your opponent shuffles up, and they go, cool, I'm revealing this card. What do you think you go, oh yeah, this is going to be a good one for me?
What do I think? Honestly, I think, as I mentioned, this one can be good against anything because it can be good, but it can also be bad at the same time, just because we're playing a roulette version of green, just based on, us revealing the top card and hoping that it's one of the 23 threes. My play style, if for all my decks, is rush, rush, rush. So I'm rushing all of these cards here, and then in hoping to gain the raids in the back.
Very interesting. And are there any matchups that when you sit down across from it, you just go, I don't think this is going to be that good for me? Anything that a newbie picking up this deck should look out for when they're playing across from it?
I do think the blues. Blues, anything blue, because of that color trigger, as I mentioned in the last video. Just that color trigger alone, it bounces something 3,500 or less back to hand. Majority of these cards, even the rated Asta, if it's the opponent's turn and this is a 3,500, so it could bounce it if it's played raw. All of these cards are only 4K that can combat that trigger are the and the Yami. So I think that one would be a hard matchup.
Okay, well, Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Popito, for walking us through the Green Asta deck. This is a very fast and exciting deck, and I'm not going to lie, now that you compared it to Bomber, I'm a little interested in playing it now because Bomber is my jam.
I know that's your deck. Yeah,
I love Bomber. Bomber's fun. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing any comments down below on people who might have been playing this deck already or looking to play and might want to have a little bit more insight. Just go ahead, leave a comment. And if you're interested in following me or following this channel for more videos and more Union Arena content, feel free to do so. You can find me down in the description below. You can find this channel, well, right here. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.